What is up, everyone, and welcome to my new blind run adventures in the form of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I am very nervous about doing this game. I will point out a few things before we get started. One, I will be playing this on the Nintendo Switch, if I can speak correctly. Like I said, a bit nervous here. On top of that, this game is also available on the Wii U, but I'd rather get it for the Switch. Another thing that I should probably mention right off the bat is the fact that we might have a few copyrights from Nintendo. They seem to like the copyright and if I do any kind of Nintendo game, basically Metroid, but if I do any kind of Nintendo game, they seem to want to copyright me. So if you see an ad on any of my videos, it's not me monetizing my videos or anything. That's Nintendo being Nintendo. I would hope that they don't do that, but the likelihood is they're going to. So for any of you, even on this video, if you happen to see like little ads pop up or whatnot, that's out of my control right there. That's completely out of my control, and I'm fully warning you ahead of time. Fully warning you. So now I got that out of the business of the way, let's talk about this game. Now, obviously I'm gonna make this a blind run, but to be as transparent as possible, I can at least let you guys know what I have seen. I have seen the beginning of the game, mainly thanks to the E3 showing that they had for this game, where they basically showed the beginning of him waking up and walking out to the field. And obviously there was like gameplay everywhere with this. So obviously I know a little bit about this world, kind of, sort of, not really. Like I said, with E3, people were posting up gameplay footage of them just wandering around, fighting enemies and doing things. As for the game itself, from what I can tell you that I've seen personally, basically people just dicking around. I would say if I had to guesstimate, story-wise, I don't know any of the story. I know that you wake up from this cave thing, and there's an old man, and he tells you to go do stuff, and someone's talking to you, which I'm going to assume is Zelda, but it's probably not, but I'm going to assume that it is. And you are going to the Temple of Time, which is all messed up, and then I've seen enough that people have gone up north where it's all snowy and whatnot, and that's about the extent of it. I will also say that I've seen some of the mini dungeons that's in this game, which is basically all puzzle based from what I understand, but again, I don't know, maybe someone might have enemies in it, I don't know. But that's about the majority of what I've seen, which I don't even think that's 5% of the game. And like, I haven't really seen any story. So I'm pretty sure there is a story, because even I saw the ad that Nintendo did, like the new trailer for Breath of the Wild, which looked really cool and was kind of the thing that really sold me on this game. Because honestly, if I can be real for you guys for just a second here, the Legend of Zelda games scared the piss out of me. And for one reason only. One reason, Scorchulas. I believe I'm saying that correctly. But basically, the spider enemies with a skull on their backs, I am not a fan of that. In fact, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I'm arachnophobia. So, for those that don't know what that means, it basically, to sum it up, I am terrified of spiders. I can't stand them. Trust me, if I see them in my house, it's like the end of the world just happened, and I'm most likely going to do some extreme things to kill it. If you want an example of how extreme I mean, like taking hairspray and a lighter and burning it to death. Again, bit extreme, probably shouldn't do that, but you get the level of, yeah, I don't mess around. Like, I do not deal well with spiders at all. And honestly, I wanted to make this my first Zelda game, but on the real, the very first Zelda game I ever played was Ocarina of Time. That was the very first Zelda game I ever played. I didn't play one on the Super Nintendo, and I didn't play the two on the NES. For whatever reason, I just did not know about them. It wasn't like now how all the information is on the internet. Because back then, barely had the internet. If it was there, I wasn't really paying attention to it back then. But what I can tell you is the first time I played through Ocarina of Time, when I first started out, I was having a good jolly old time going. I was a little kid with a wooden sword and a shield, and I walked into a tree that was talking to me. I walked inside of its mouth and saw webs everywhere. And at first I was kind of like, okay, whatever. But I started hearing ticking sounds, and next thing you know, bam, just fell on my head, and I freaked out. I turned off the N64, and I said never again will I play that game. There's a thing with this, never say never, because literally a few years go by, and at this point we have upgraded consoles and whatnot, so the graphics are a lot better and stuff. And I thought to myself, if I can deal with all this stuff that I'm seeing now, maybe it wouldn't be as bad if I go back to something. I mean, it wasn't like the graphics on there was amazing. Don't get me wrong, the game still holds up today, but comparatively, it wasn't like I was looking at that. So I thought, just give it another shot. A lot of people call this one of their favorite Zelda games of all time. Let's give it a shot and see what we can really do. Right? So I go back into the dungeon. I kill all the little spider enemies. I solved all the puzzles, and then I get to the boss. The boss is like a giant ass spider that spits out smaller spiders. I can already tell you right now, my head was like, no. No. We're stopping what we're doing. Turn this game off, and I'm not coming back to it. And then, on top of that, a little bit later on, when Let's Play started becoming a thing, and people did Let's Plays of The Legend of Zelda, I come to find out that even after I got out of that dungeon, there was more of them. They're all over the place. Hidden. And those golden ones, too. And I'm like, that's not for me. And on top of it, on Majora's Mask, I believe, or maybe it is still Ocarina of Time, but there's a house dedicated to them. To which I say, hell no. And literally, because of those experiences, I basically just would not touch a Zelda game. I just wouldn't. Like I said, my fear of spiders is really bad. And though, yes, it's just a video game, my fear of them is that bad. No. So, but as some people do know, I did end up getting a few Zelda games. I know on the Wii Virtual Console, which is now my Wii U, I have The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And I played maybe 5 minutes of it, but then I just stopped. I know also on the Game Boy Advance, I was able to find this, and on my Wii U, I have the Minish Cap. And I played to the first dungeon, actually, and I really enjoyed what I played, but I figured I wanted to make that whole playthrough. Then again, then Nintendo started being Nintendo, copyrighting everything. So obviously, I just didn't want to deal with that at the time. At the time, I was like, I don't want to deal with that. And then, as some people know, I also have Wind Waker on the GameCube. I actually was able to find a copy of Wind Waker. I technically want to get the HD one. I feel like if I'm going to start with that one, I might as well go for it. But I do have the GameCube one as well. And from what I understand, that has no spiders. So I can literally play that game and be fine. But again, because Nintendo being Nintendo, I decided not to. But when it came to this game in particularly, I felt like if there was a Zelda game that I really wanted to start out with, like to really call my very first Zelda game, I want it to be this one. This one seems like I can just go on a grand adventure and do whatever I want in any order I want, and just go on an adventure. I mean, it's that simple. It's not like I'm on a direct path. Is I can literally just go out into the world and just do whatever I want. So that is basically where we are at right now. But what I can tell you is two things. Just because we're seeing this one, which is episode 0, doesn't mean like I'm just gonna start this game up. Alright? I'm letting you guys know that right now. For two reasons. Reason number one, I still don't have the game. I have my Switch, but I don't have the game. I don't have any games for my Switch. So that's a reason. And then reason number two is one of my friends, Short Top, she's been in a few of my videos in the past. She's actually helping me out by doing something that I can add to my game. I don't want to tell you guys what it is because I want to leave it as a surprise for you guys. But it should make my adventure in here a little easier in the case if I do run into Scorchless in this game. It will make things a little bit easier for me. So, like I said, I don't want to go into much of what it is or how this could help me. It's only something that's going to help me out. But among all else, I can't stress this enough. I know a lot of people are playing this game and whatnot. I'm going to ask everyone to not spoil the story of this game. In fact, even when I start playing this, I don't want any help, like, at all. I want to go through this adventure completely blind, or as blind as I can possibly can go, because I did see a little bit. Not enough that I was like, I know anything, but, you know, from what I've already told you guys from the beginning of this video, yeah, I've seen a little bit, but I want to keep this fresh. I want it to not be spoiled. Trust me, I blocked things on the internet already, so that way I am not spoiled like on Tumblr, Twitter, and all these other various websites and social media outlets. I don't want to be spoiled, but when I do understand, this game is almost getting a perfect score across the board. So, I feel like I don't really go by scores, but apparently everyone's raving about it like it's the best thing ever. So why not make this my first Zelda game? So, like I said, I'm just posting this video up now just to kind of get you guys like a little heads up, like, hey, this is something that's coming to my channel, and I feel like I touched on all the bases that I wanted to. So, you know, with all that being said, I hope that you all look forward to this adventure. And, you know, for me personally, I hope I can get through it, because honestly, if it's what I think most Zelda games are like, I'm going to wake up, because obviously Link seems to be sleeping in almost every game except for like the very first 2 games on the NES. I think almost every other game he's asleep somewhere. You know, I wake up, I go out into the world, I possibly help people. I do random quests, I survive. I'm gonna go into dungeons, and I guess shrines, which is like a new thing here. I'm going to fight bosses, and at the end of the day, I'm going to fight Ganon, or what's his name? I believe it's like he has a certain name. I can't think of what it's called at the moment. But I'm going to fight Ganon at the very end of the game and save the land of Hyrule. I believe that's how you say that. Yeah. I'm going to save the land. And yeah. That's basically what I'm thinking. But I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But what I do know is this is something that I am very excited to do on my channel. And hopefully the rest of you guys will be excited to watch me go through this. So, with all that being said, I hope to see you guys in the new adventure. But as always, you all Have a fantastic day. Please take care of yourselves. Always stay coolly. And I will see you all in the next video. Until then, later.